What is up YouTube, Radico here. With smartphone cameras getting better and better these days, we have to answer the question, are DSLR cameras still worth the investment? Let's find out. For this test, I used the iPhone X and the Canon SL2, otherwise known as the 200D internationally. All of the lenses I used were basic ones, one of which is the standard kit lens that was included with the camera. All photos and videos are unedited. I used the standard camera app on the iPhone X and saved all photos as full-sized JPEG files on both the iPhone X and the SL2. The SL2 is Canon's most recent budget-friendly DSLR camera, and it has specs that put it up there with more expensive cameras such as the 80D. Sure, it's not the best DSLR camera, but the purpose here is to figure out whether a budget camera is worth investing in when you already have a smartphone with a good camera. The SL2 costs $650 with the standard 18 to 55mm kit lens, and the iPhone X 256GB space gray model that I used in this test costs $1,150. With that said, here are a few of the video and photo comparisons between the two. Let's take a look. After looking at these samples, there are a few things that I have to point out. If we look at the portrait sample from the iPhone X here, you can tell that the depth sensing technology that kind of simulates the depth of field on this photo has a little bit of a problem with detecting some objects as being the foreground when in fact they actually are in the background. Of course, that's a problem because everyone's going to know that your depth of field is fake after that. I feel like if you're going to be shooting a professional photo, you definitely don't want to be using portrait mode on the iPhone because almost every portrait shot I've shot with my iPhone X, there are almost always little things like that that just give it away that it's definitely fake. So, in my personal opinion, I believe that the iPhone is a great contender, especially if you're a beginner. Smartphones are getting pretty close to DSLR these days. I'm not saying that they're there yet, but they're getting very close, and if you're not making money off your photos, or if you're just like, if you're a beginner, you're just trying to get into things, I would just use your smartphone. A little known fact is that almost all of my videos shot last year on my YouTube channel were all shot with my iPhone 7 Plus. Some of those actually looked really nice, and they were all shot on an iPhone. I mean, that's proof right there. You can do it. You can start a YouTube channel, or take great photos, any of that stuff, with an iPhone. Or any modern smartphone that has a good camera for that matter, like the Pixel 2. One thing that I will also note is that I can definitely tell that the iPhone does a lot of processing to the photo before it's exported. The nice thing about DSLRs is that you do get a lot more flexibility when you're editing the photos, so like it doesn't do as much to the colors and all of that stuff. Of course you have to change that in the settings. I know out of the box a lot of Canon cameras will have color profiles that actually do a lot of it for you. I sometimes use those if I'm just trying to do something really quick and don't want to edit it afterward. But most of the time, if you're doing something professional, it's always good to have that raw capability to just edit it all you want afterward, have all that flexibility. So that is one reason why I like that you can see raw photos with a DSLR camera and then edit afterward. Of course, all the photos shot for the samples that I made were all in JPEG, just because I was trying to compare it to a smartphone, which all those photos are being JPEG. Basically what I'm saying is that it depends on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to just start a beginner YouTube channel and you don't really care about, changing the colors or if you're just trying to get a video that looks decent, then a smartphone's probably good enough for you. If you're trying to go a little bigger and you're also starting to make monies on your videos and photos, then yeah, I'll get a DSLR camera. I've actually been hired to do a few videos of weddings and all that stuff recently, And at first they told me, you can just use your phone, like we're not on a huge budget. But I'm like, no, I'm not gonna let that happen. I'm not gonna shoot a professional wedding video with my iPhone. So what I did is that I actually got this camera, and I also got a friend to let me borrow his professional cinema camcorder. So I used those two cameras to create a really good looking wedding video. By the way, the link for that video is in the description. I uploaded it on Google Drive. The couple did give me permission to share it with everyone. If you want to look at how that looks, then go right ahead. It's actually my cousin, Carissa, who was in the wedding. Of course, it is my first wedding. It's not perfect. I can point out a lot of flaws with it. But it's kind of a learning experience. You know, the more you do those things, the better you get at it. But anyways, guys, it really just depends on your purpose. If you're not making money off your stuff and you don't really care how professional it looks, then I would just go with your phone. If you like this video, if it helped you out, go ahead and like it. If you disliked it, you know what to do. And if you're new to this channel and you love watching videos about tech or like reviews of tech devices, any of that stuff, consider subscribing to the channel. I am Paul Radiker. You just watched another rad tech video, and I will see you in the next one.